My phone number shows I'm a 60-year-old man, but that's because I'm still on my parents' phone plan, and I went through and removed myself from these sites years ago.
Okay, I love that.
My friend met a guy in a bar. She was hooking up with him, making out at a bar with him, and then she found him on Facebook.
Hooked up and didn't know his last name. Easy way to do this, I tell people, is show her own social media, and then we see what his is. If he doesn't want to do that, there's a reason. It's really sad because they get so excited, which is a wonderful thing because love is so great. And then it turns into something terrible.
Next story. Here we go, guys. Are you ready? Okay. So this is a short one.
Okay.
This one is about Googling your date and something that can happen if you don't Google your date as quickly as you should.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Go for it.
My friend met a guy in a bar. They flirted all night and made out. He said he loved to take her. You're already laughing. Said he loved to take her out and gave her his number. They text constantly for the next few days and went on a date the following weekend when they hooked up.
Okay.
She felt weird because he said he had no social media and hadn't given his last name. So she Googled his phone number.
Okay, so she made out with him, hooked up, and didn't know his last name.
I don't even have to read the rest of the story.
Made out with him, hooked up, didn't know his last name.
Do you want to take a guess?
3 huge red flags.
Do you want to take a guess?
Married, in a relationship.
Okay,
Spill the beans.
She found his company website and searched them on company's house.
So he told her where he worked.
No, she searched his phone number.
Okay, she took his phone number.
Yeah.
Okay, then found out where he worked somehow.
He was a director of a business alongside a number of women with the same date of birth year, which I guess that was probably on the website. Maybe it says their date of birth.
Okay. Well, she did a background check.
Some sort of background check, right? And she says, now having his full name, she found him on Facebook. His photos showed he got married a month before.
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's rough.
And what I say about my intuition. He's married. See, here's the thing that happens. People meet each other online, and I think online dating is fine. I think it's a good thing so people can connect. A lot of people, they work all the time. You know, they don't go to a bar. It totally depends upon regionally where you live as well, right? So she goes out with him, and she just probably got excited because they matched somehow. And that excitement takes over. It's like an adrenaline that, I don't know biochemically what it does to your body, but it's something to where the brain's not chemically working right.
Nope.
It's all the
Tunnel
dopamine
vision.
Or whatever, what happens. Yeah.
Pretty much endorphins.
Serotonin that happens. Yeah. So they get so excited. If she just wanted a hookup and doesn't care, although that's not smart to do, that's her choice. But to not even know the person's last name, there's obviously a reason he was hiding that, and it's because he was married.
Yeah, and she must have, maybe she did know what he did for work, but the fact that she's doing all this stuff with him and definitely doesn't want to since he's married, I'm guessing once she found out, she was like, okay, I'm not going to date this guy anymore since he's married and got married a month ago. I do hope so. But before that, she was, hooking up with him, making out at a bar with him, which, I understand the bar part a little bit, right? Some people meet at a bar, they'll have
some
fun.
People don't think they're going to go and search at that moment when you're at the bar and you're in the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. And I totally get that.
But a couple days went by.
Well, she starts searching later. That's what happens when they start thinking that this is a relationship or something that can happen. I really think, though, and I really urge this for people to do this. Even when you are at that bar and you're all stoked about whoever it is and you're making out and everything is just bonkers great, pick up your phone and try. An easy way to do this, I tell people, is because if she has her own social media, she can show her own social media. And as they're having fun in a nonchalant way, go, this is my social. I want to follow you right now. And then we see what his is. If he doesn't want to do that, there's a reason.
What if he says he doesn't have a social media?
Okay, so I'm sure you have something somewhere. I need to know your last name. We just literally, without being descriptive, they were just making out, right? So what is your last name? Like you still have to know.
There has to be information.
There has to be information. Because if not, they're leading themselves down the path of failure.
Yeah.
And it's really sad because they get so excited, which is a wonderful thing because love is so great, right? You're thinking, oh my gosh, this is so fun. This guy's so cool. And then it turns into something terrible.
Do you want a couple comments?
I would love a comment.
Okay, here's one. I Googled myself and found absolutely nothing.
Check, we can fix that.
Absolutely. Okay, next one. My phone number shows I'm a 60-year-old man, but that's because I'm still on my parents' phone plan, and I went through and removed myself from these sites years ago.
Okay, I love that. I love that. This is what people need to understand. You do not want people to have to search your phone number to figure out who you are. Really?
Okay.
Because that is just the silliest thing. So then it does say it's a 60-year-old man, that the girl, whoever he meets, is going to be like, oh my gosh, this is a 60-year-old man. Or he's going to explain it maybe. But nevertheless, it makes people question who this person is that they're talking to. And that is just one of the worst things that you can do.
And I have a great segue into something that I'm doing here.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. This comment says, I Googled myself years ago and discovered that someone with my exact name was a state representative somewhere. It was pretty crazy. So the thing I'm going to bring up now is, what do you do when someone has your exact same name and they're someone who doesn't seem like you're going to go over them on the Google search?
Okay, we're going to do a full podcast about this and a YouTube video because that is you.
Yeah.
You have the same name as your dad. So what we did for you is we created a thing called a search phrase. And the search phrase differentiates you. So this way you tell people who you are. On your social media, you tell people to search you and you have your search phrase. Okay. This needs a full podcast for people to really understand about this, but you need to differentiate yourself, which you are doing, which is so smart.
Exactly. And people need to get, this is kind of a creative branding tactic where you set up a search phrase or a brand phrase or some sort of name, or it could be really anything you want it to be. And it just makes people understand that, hey, this is something completely different than everything else that's out there. Because I mean, there are so many.
Making people Google a phone number
Oh, well,
because
no,
they aren't showing who they are,
number.
or I mean, Googling a phone number is okay once you're dating someone to make sure it's, that if you're seeing red flags, right? Because people are normally only searching that much, continually, daily or whatever, to make sure that, because they feel like maybe something's off with that person.
Yeah.
But go ahead with the next. I want to hear the next person.
Okay.
Next comment.
I just have the next story. You want the next
story?
Do
the next story. Let's go into that one.
Okay, last story. Here we go. Here's the title. How often do you look people up online, and do you think it's creepy?
Well, it's not creepy. It's only creepy if people are being weird and maybe trying to find out where the person lives and, for some strange reason or something like that.
And I feel like a lot of people who think it's creepy, they just do it too. And
well, people say that, right? They're like, oh, it's creepy,
And then they're on their phone on Instagram.
It's creepy not looking up a person that you go and meet that you have no idea who they are. You go out with them later. That's
and it's
creepy.
A date. It's
and
not
you
like...
don't even know if they're the right person.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have to check that and make sure nowadays because so many people are pretending like they're someone else or whatever. But go ahead and let's go into this.
Let's go through this story. I'm genuinely curious. I feel like when I meet new people, especially if I want to be friends, I'll often look them up online. I'll look up their socials, etc. There's a bit of internet stalker in most people, I think. I never thought this was weird, but recently a coworker has been doing this to me and it feels creepy.
Jeez.
First, he found a very, very old thing I self-published over a decade ago that is pretty difficult to find. It's searchable, but would just take some deep Googling as my name isn't tied to it directly. I found out because I walked into work one day and he was showing it to all of our coworkers.
Okay. Was he making fun of it or?
It's nothing bad. I was just taken back and surprised. Yesterday, I was talking to a different coworker about a trip and they said, "Oh, I know. Didn't you do X?" Person showed me pictures from their Instagram. So the guy who was showing everyone the book also was showing pictures from her Instagram to her coworkers.
Okay.
Okay, next. He's done other stuff like this where he'll find something about me online and then share it with others, often before talking about it with me. I'm trying to put
why is he talking about it with others? Is he pulling it up and going, look at what Fred did last week? Or what is happening with this?
Well, the fact that she's saying that it's nothing bad makes me feel like, I don't know, it seems like it's some sort of like admiration kind of thing.
Maybe.
But it is kind of like, what's the intention? Why is he doing this right now? Does he just think she's cool? You know what I mean?
So it's a guy doing this to the girl?
It's a guy doing this to a girl.
It's a guy doing this to the girl. Okay, so maybe he has a crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
We put things out on Instagram and social media and all that, YouTube, everywhere, so that people can see who we are and what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sharing platform. That's what we're supposed to do if you want to, show people, who you are in life.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put a picture out of me last weekend hiking, and I walk into Starbucks today and the lady in there knows me and she says, oh, I saw you were hiking this weekend. I would be more flattered than creeped out because I'm like, oh, she's looking at my social media. She's interested in what I'm doing. And she's bringing up conversation, which is nice.
Yeah. What if she never tells it to you, but tells it to someone else and then that person tells it to you?
Well, if I'm working with that person and I'm with them all the time, I would expect them to say it to them too.
Yeah.
The fact that they're showing it to other coworkers is kind of odd, but if they're saying it's nothing bad, there's either a crush or malicious intent, one or the other, out of the two, making fun of something, or
because it's not. I don't know. It seems like, because you would think most of the stuff would be some sort of, at least in the other stories we listened to, it's about relating to someone.
Yeah.
With the girl with the sundress and the Bloody Marys. But now we're getting to where this guy isn't trying to relate to the girl. He's just sending the information that he found of the girl to other people or showing it to them. I don't know. It seems kind of innocuous, but kind of weird.
Okay. Well, then the person that this person is showing their pictures needs to go and ask this person.
You're right.
Here again, what do we go to again? A communication issue.
Mm-hmm.
Go right up to them, say, I heard you showing my pictures, or I've seen you doing this. It doesn't seem like you're doing anything malicious, right? Or are you making fun of, or whatever? Have a conversation without it being anything,
Just ask them what's going on.
Ask them what's going on.
Yeah.
And then say, you showed my pictures, we could have a conversation about it. They could say to them,
is there any reason you're doing this?
Is there any reason you're doing this? Are you fascinated by me? Do you wish I'd ask you to go to one of these places with me? I mean, what's happening?
And then he'll
here?
probably say something that's pretty telling, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's back to communication. So instead of typing on Reddit what we think that the problem is, and just asking random people without giving them enough context or even knowing who they are, they should be able to ask that person. And putting their stuff out there on social is great. That's what they want to show the world. So if someone's next to me going, oh, look at Tonia's Instagram, what she did, I'm sure people say all kinds of things about my Instagram because it can be taken so many different ways because I show so many different facets of my life.
Of course.
But I put that out there for a reason so people can see that. If they talk to each other about it, great. They can talk to me about it. They can talk to anyone about it. So people need to really become more of an open book, have a little bit more confidence about what they're putting out, and then they won't really care.
Absolutely. Are you ready? This is the last little bit.
Okay, last little bit.
I don't think there's really much craziness here, but I'm going to read it anyways. I'm trying to pin down why this feels weird because he's not doing anything wrong or that I haven't done. I think it's just weird that he's showing other people before talking with me. He and I did not talk at all about my trip before he showed my other coworkers these Insta pics.
Okay, well then there's something's.
It's just
she
odd.
needs to go and ask him.
Immediately.
Why are you showing my Instagram to our coworkers? Are you saying, look, how does this person have enough money to go on all these trips because we all make the same money? Like what? There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's something going on there. She needs to just go and ask that. And then you know what she should do? Pull up his Instagram and do the same thing at lunch the next day and say, oh, let's each show each other our Instagram.
She needs to do that right now.
Yeah, because then maybe he'll go, oh, why are you doing that? Well, you've been doing that, and it's not, do it jokingly fun. Not that it's a big deal or there's any confrontation, just to try to get to the bottom of why it's happening if it's bugging her.
And then they'd be the perfect match.
And then you never know.
Right.
Maybe that would spark the first date.
Could be. Are you ready for a comment?
Yes.
Okay. Top comment says, Googling the people you know is normal. Telling someone what you found when you Googled them is diabolical.
Well, that person is.
They're just farming upvotes.
Okay, you can't, when you Google someone, right, you don't really, like we talked about, before, you don't really want to say every single thing to that person that you found out about them.
Yeah, this guy didn't do that at all.
No, he didn't do that at all. But it's when you hear other people's comments, like I said, too many of them can mess you up, but it's also good to hear other people's perspectives on what they think when it's just, but with taking it,
Yeah, because that's why I originally was saying that it sounds like it's some sort of admiration, because it almost sounds like, like when a grandmother talks about like their grandchildren.
Well,
and
I wouldn't talk about it like that.
No, but it reminds me when they're like,
because we don't know their ages.
No, I'm expecting that their ages are kind of close.
Yeah.
But it just reminds me of like, oh, look at this cool person doing this cool thing.
Right.
But they never tell the actual person that it's so cool.
Yeah.
You know what
so
I mean?
There's something there. But if there was a little more communication, we should probably respond to that later, because we need to set up our own account so that I can help people with this. And I'll respond. You need to ask the person in a very nice, calm way. If it is bugging you, why are you showing, my stuff to other people? I'd rather have a conversation with you and those people about what I'm doing and then see what comes from that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for all of these. I loved all of these. Again, we're going to be doing a lot more of these so that this way we can help people. And it's great to see, what is going on with people when their search isn't fixed. What we aren't hearing on these Reddit stories, like I get to hear on a daily basis from people I've worked with, is all the positive things that are happening when their search is fixed.
I should get some of those stories.
We're going to do that next.
We'll get some of those stories about how amazing they've searched someone up and it was just the love of their life right in front of them.
It happens all the time.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you on the next episode. Over and out. Bye-bye.
Over and out. See you later.